In this video, I'll show you how to load your PixelFlow script in Google Tags Manager. I have the PixelFlow help document for this open on screen as well, and I'll follow through it throughout the video. So the first thing you need to do is go into your PixelFlow dashboard and get your PixelFlow script. So I'll open my PixelFlow overview page, click copy, and that's my script. The next thing you need to do is log into Google Tags Manager. In your Tags Manager, click on Tags, click on New, select the tag configuration here, click on it. Scroll down to Custom HTML and paste your PixelFlow script into this page. On here, you'll see that there's advanced settings. So we have consent settings and require additional consent for tag to fire. So this is for GDPR reasons. If you want to ask the user for consent, you can do it using this method. So for now, we'll skip this and I'll come back to it at the end of the video. Once you've got your tag configured in here, click on triggering. And you want to choose a trigger that's going to load the PixelFlow script. So all pages for this example, and we'll click on save. Rename the tag to, let's say, PixelFlow, click on save, and click on submit to add the changes. So once this is published, Google Tags Manager is now going to load the PixelFlow script in it. And any page that you have Google Tags Manager on is going to also load the PixelFlow script. At any time, if you want to check if Google Tags Manager is loading the PixelFlow script, or you just want to check your pixel is firing, you can use Google Chrome, and there's a free plugin from Meta called the Meta Pixel Helper. So whenever you load a page, you can click on it and it'll show you the page view or whatever the event that's being fired. So if you're loading PixelFlow through Google Tags Manager, you can use the Meta Pixel Helper and just check if an event is firing whenever you've triggered them. So that's how to set up Google Tags Manager with PixelFlow. If you also want to set up PixelFlow to only load when the user has given consent, you can do this by going back to Google Tags Manager. And in Google Tags Manager, go back to Tags, click on PixelFlow, and click on Edit the tag. Down here, you'll see Advanced Settings. If you scroll down, Consent Settings, and then require additional consent for the tag to fire. If you click on the button, the one that you'll need for PixelFlow is add storage. Click on save. And that is going to have the effect that PixelFlow will only fire if the user has, as you can see, given add storage permissions. This requires you obviously to use an external cookie consent plugin on your website. And when the user clicks on yes, I accept, or selects the cookies that they do accept, one of those will be to give permission for add storage. That will then pass the trigger to Google Tags, which will let PixelFlow load as a script. The final thing that you need to do is add an extra trigger for the PixelFlow script to run. If you're requiring consent, you should also have a trigger that loads the PixelFlow script directly after consent has been given. Otherwise, it will only load on page views after the page has been refreshed. Because how it works is a page will load, the customer will say yes or no to consent. If they say yes, consent is given, but the page is already loaded. Nothing else happens. So you need to add an extra trigger to load the script once consent is given to ensure that the script will run directly after the user clicks on yes, I agree to consent. So to do that, click on Edit, scroll down to Custom Event, and for the event name, we'll call it something like Cookie Consent Update. This will obviously change depending on the cookie consent plugin that you're using and whatever they use for these variables. So enter it here. We'll call the trigger Cookie Consent Update. Click on Save. Now, once we go back to the tag, go into PixelFlow, scroll down. We can add a new trigger. Click on the plus. We can have the Cookie Consent Update option here. So what this is going to do once we've saved it is this script, the PixelFlow script, will fire whenever all pages load if the user has given permission, and immediately after without having to refresh the page once the user has given permission. So all you need to do is click on Save, click on Submit, Publish, Continue, and Google Tags Manager will update with the latest changes. As I mentioned, this obviously requires you to have an external cookie consent plugin that is handling the consent on your website. There's lots of them out there. They all have different setups, but at a high level, that's how you load the PixelFlow script within Google Tags Manager, how you add consent, and how you ensure that the Google Tags Manager script is ran directly after giving consent and on every page load.